What's rigging time? I mean, I got this truck, within the month before Helene, and never got time to fully quick wired up the salt spreader. It was zip tied to one of the phone holders, so it's just have not had time to really invest in rigging and setting up the way I want. There's no consoles out there in the market that are going to work for what I want to do. So I typically go back to wood because I can put screws in it. I can cut holes easy. It's cheap. I've got lots of tools to do that. So what I've ended up deciding to do is this Lariat model has this fold down seat in the center. I took out the tray that's here right there. Now I did have to unplug that cigarette lighter plug, but no big deal. I'll use that in something here with the system. But so what I'm doing, I'm getting ready. I just marked a couple spots here. I took off the latch for that part because I really am not going to lock anything in this. This is the control module for the restraint system. So this is still going to be closed and never really accessed, but I still have this lock mechanism, and it's got a gap I've got to cut out again. And so that piece is going to be going there, and there are a couple holes that we're going to bolt in secure to this good metal frame here. And then on the front, eventually we'll build a box in the front that's accessible, has some air ventilation, but that's where some of the extra fuse panels and controllers and things like that will be stored. But here's kind of where we're heading with it. Got that down, and this is kind of hard to do single-handed. The middle is back down. I kind of want to keep as much factory as I can. I want to use this cup holder. Don't care about that one. So what we've got is a piece of wood that is cut for the profile of all this. So I can get to this latch still and use that. This will get routed on the edge, smooth, sanded, all that kind of jazz. This piece will come up and be right under the lip here. We'll put some angle brackets on the back, and then this piece, will, besides being secured at the bottom, will be secured with the box. But the idea is there's things that can be mounted on the back of this and come up with arms, or there are certain things that I just need to mount on top of this, and it's right there. It's, fingertip controls for things. So I'm going to get moving on it. I'll end up sanding a little bit more and maybe put some vinyl or something over top of this, make it look nice, but we'll see. But I'm going to keep moving. And the crudeness continues. Yeah, this wasn't exactly a drawing plan from the beginning, but I just finally cut this piece. This is what's going to cover to get to the access for the fuse panels, all the little control stuff that really needs to be hidden. I'll put a little finger hole in that, but the challenge with this is you've got slopes everywhere. You can see I did some crude cuts. You've got a slope up from the floor. You got dash around this and all that. But this is one unit right here. Some pretty thick plywood. The bolts are going through both pieces to sandwich this together. I'll have one in the center, but then we've got the piece that's coming up for the top. Oh, it's so hard to get this undone by itself. Let's see, this will be going in here. And then we've got the, cup holder. That seems to be working okay. But what I'll have to do now, this has been routed and sanded a little bit to get ready. Some things here are going to get smoothed off. All of this is going to get beveled. Putty filled to cover that up. Round off, cover, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of just sanding along the curve on this part and bevel that off. But the core is pretty much here. Again, it's cheap. The reason I use this wood and this type of wood and this type of wood, because that's what's in the shop. And I use those screws because that's what I had in the shop. And wood glue. But I'm going to move on. I'm going to unbolt this again, get these pieces out, start sanding, and get some paint coat on it. And then start figuring out some other detail. But the paint has dried about 3 coats, and some of my filling did not go great, but I don't care really. Just doing a little bit, but it's dried up. I don't care about the inside. None of that's going to be seen. That's where I'll be mounting fuse boxes and hardware and stuff to be hidden. Top cover and the very top one that'll go on the, see, that looks horrible there, but boy, that glue, I mean, it works, but it's very hard to sand. But I didn't have any wood filler, so that was just the option. But it's good enough. That'll go on top there. Hopefully it matches. I'm going to go start putting the pieces in and start putting some bolts in and just see how it works. Short break in the action. Forgot there was one of the pieces I didn't paint. Getting ready to assemble it, but I got a brake hanger and speeding it up a little bit, getting in front of the fan. But this is a rubberized coating, and then I'll put the paint on right now and dry that, and we'll get back to assembling. For a second coat. Well, this is good enough for now. Again, this is a crude build. Plywood's cheap, materials are cheap. Things I had on hand anyway, so it's really not out any money. Some of the commercial consoles for this truck would have required me to take all this out. I like the console there, leaning on it even when I'm plowing. I got something to rest my hand on for the controller. But as you can see, I want my drink holder to remain, but I wanted more surface space for certain things. We've got the back wall here that can mount. This will likely go on the back wall. We'll have space for the tablet holder, the control switch panel, phone holder probably over in here, and a place for the pull up the spreader controller, or excuse me, the plow controller up here to work. But that's going to take some daydreaming, working out the console, but I can still get to this compartment easily. It's trimmed in pretty nice. It shouldn't be catching an edge on somebody. And then this part, we'll be able to, again, mount things here. This, I haven't put the bolts in here yet, but this piece will be able to come out and store the things down there. And plus, probably, you know, I could screw on a battery charger for my fire department radio during the Helene, Tropical Storm Helene. We were out so many hours. I have the handheld radio, but I brought a charger, but we just kind of set it up in the console and trying to keep the other battery going, so we made sure that we stayed charged up with a spare. But I could mount that there, use the power inverter that's here. Actually worked with it. But all kinds of stuff will be able to be put down in here. We made a lip. I say we, it's me and you guys. But I put that up so that we've got a pretty strong side, but a lip for maybe catching something I just happened to throw down there, because I know me. But that's it for this video. I'm going to be wiring things, and now these, wiring harness, it's pretty big. We'll get to go down and cut a hole here, go down through and hide, and other places for wire to kind of come up for the control things and all that. But it's been a long time coming. This is the mobile office for certain things. So I hope that gave you an idea at least. If I gave advice on it, get you a generic plan. And if you're doing CAD drawings or whatever, that's great too. But then you figure out weird angles for things that are going on, and you just kind of have to adapt. Now I've already noticed I put a shim under the front of that box in the center down there because it was making this off a little bit. I'll put a third bolt in here to sandwich the top of this box together a little bit better. But that's it for now. I can't wait to show you when it's actually set up. As I always say, have a very blessed day. Go have lunch with somebody today. Check on one of your friends. Maybe have a project like this with them. All right, y'all take care.